I'm just leaving the barn, and thankfully, as I was hoping, it was a good training day. A little bit of something to lift my spirits. I don't know if it did much to lift your spirits, but it certainly lifted my spirits. After the week we've had, man, it just felt like the last 10 days after we got that March stake payment out of the way, just felt like everything was falling into place, right? A little complacent, slept great a couple of nights. And this game, I'll tell you what, it just will not. Well, I guess this COVID just won't let anybody settle, and especially here in Ontario, we got some terrible news. As many of you know, we're on a full lockdown now for the next 4 weeks. I am not going to be locked down. I'm going to put a couple of horses in my truck and trailer, and I'm going to go to Pennsylvania for at least probably 2 weeks. Will that affect your drone schedule? Listen, I'll be completely frank with everybody out there. I have no idea what's going to take place from right now to 3 weeks from now. And there is a ton of intangibles that I can't predict. Now, we have anywhere from 8 to 41 horses that can leave. And what does that mean? Well, we have some horses that have to race, and they will be leaving. Oso Pine will race next Sunday at Northfield Park in the Open, I would suspect. White Tiger, we're going to race him somewhere. Brave World's ready to go. What the hell are we going to do with Brave World, right? Not to mention the other horses that are ready to go right now. Italian Grit raced the other night. Fox Valley Britska. I'll be honest with you. I actually propositioned Travis Henry to leave for 4 weeks, as April 28th, there is a stake race in Indiana. I don't know if Italian Grit is stake caliber. I doubt it, but he's still a good little horse. Fox Valley Britska, they have some small stake at the end of the month. We paid them into. We paid That's My Girl into. Where are we going to qualify her? You got to get these horses. A couple of these horses got to leave. So I'll give you a list. I've worked out a list, and I will give you a list of horses that will leave. These are contingency plans. We have a list of horses that we know Mohawk and Woodbine are down for at least a little while. I know Mohawk and Woodbine Mohawk Park, and Jim Lawson. I spoke to Jim the other day. He's optimistic that they can get back racing in 15 days. I'm not going to weigh in on the optimism angle. I don't know. I don't trust politicians. I don't trust what just went on in Ontario. I don't like it. And I'm not going to weigh in. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He figures by the end of next week, he'll have a pretty good barometer as to what. And here's how it has to play out. So I'm going to lay it all out for you. The provincial government shut everybody down, which doesn't matter what I think. I don't want to go down that path. I'm just going to leave it alone. Jim Lawson added a caveat with Doug Ford. Asked for a caveat with Doug Ford. Said, fine, if you don't want to, and this is where my anger starts. I voted for Doug Ford, not the medical community, to run the province. And he had cleared it with Doug Ford. If I get Halton Health, so this is a municipal health unit working within the province, if I get Halton Health to sign off that Woodbine is safe, which we all know it is anyway, since training is open, since these people are around the horses every day, there really won't be an interruption of any kind if they race or they don't race. The only difference is they don't make any money. So if, as Jim said, if he can get Halton Health Unit to sign off that Woodbine is safe, will the province allow us to go back to racing? Doug Ford's answer apparently to Jim Lawson was yes. Great. I just don't trust him. I don't trust him. So, the worst thing that could happen for Ontario has just happened. We're heading into the summer season. There were horses from the United States here helping to fill cards. Those horses are leaving. The horses that were coming back to race here are not coming. Anthony McDonald, Carmen Osiello, Blake McIntosh, people that have horses with other trainers, they are now left with making difficult decisions. Now, any horse that we send, an Oso Pine, can come back. No problem. But some are gone, right? So it puts me in an incredibly difficult situation. It puts Jim Lawson in an even more difficult situation. You cannot afford, as a province, we cannot afford to lose the horses we're about to lose. That's the reality of the situation. And that's what I don't think a lot of the politicians understand, is that you are absolutely kneecapping the agriculture industry. Look at it this way. If 70 horses leave between myself, Carmen, Blake, whoever, right? That's 70 less horses fed in this province. That's 70 less horses that need hay and bedding in this province. That's 70 less horses that need caretakers, that need vet work, need a blacksmith, on and on and on. You can't do this for the province. And I know there's a lot of people out there. Oh, I almost fell into the trap. I'm not going down that path. I'm not going to do that. I'll save this rant for another day. So, I'm going to have a list of horses that likely will be leaving, horses that could leave, and horses that might leave. If my kids, I can tell you this, if my children enter March break on April 12th, and the education minister says they are not coming back till at least mid-May, I'm going to take, there's a chance, a real chance, that I'm going to take every horse that is not an Ontario bred, put them on a trailer, and get them to Ohio. Then I am leaving for Ohio. Perfect question. How are your kids and your wife getting to Ohio? They can't get across the border. They can fly across the border. The McDonald family from 65 Moffat Lane, Guelph, Ontario, will reside in Ohio for the next few months. I am not putting up with this. So, do what you want. You live in Ontario. My brother James does an exceptional job. We have a great staff here in Ontario. And we have, 28 to 30 some Ontario breds? They can stay here. The rest of them might possibly go. That final path will lie at the feet of the education minister. Again, my kids go on March break and they say remote learning for the foreseeable future. They can remote learn from Ohio because they're not going to be here. So that would be the bulk. That would be our PA bred babies. And there's a couple I'll leave here. I don't really want to take Will to win Hanover away from James, so she'll remain. There's a couple of special cases that could remain. Fine, they'll remain. But for the most part, the American breds will be coming to the States. Now that is worst case scenario for me. That is a logistical nightmare. That is stomping on the gas pedal and moving everything forward in a very haphazard way. So yes, very concerning, upsetting time. I'm hoping it's somewhere between the first path and second where, some horses have to leave to go race at Northfield in Pennsylvania. 2, we're gonna send a bunch over and we're gonna see how it works out. And then hopefully we don't get to that third path. And that third path, truthfully, has nothing to do with racing and everything to do with my children, my family. So that's where we're at with that. As I was saying to you, a great day today on the track training, and I don't want anybody to be too depressed. I'm trying to build these paths in a way that nobody should be depressed. Yes, we're going to be inconvenienced as Pine was on a roll right here at Mohawk. Yes, we're going to be inconvenienced. A lot of horses were ready to race and now cannot. It's not the end of the world. I'll do the best I can to maneuver every piece that we possibly can to make it as comfortable a downtime as we can, but I'm left at the mercy of the province also. There really, for those of you out there that own the Ontario breds, there really is no point in me taking a blue monk to Ohio or Pennsylvania and then racing them in tough and then shipping them back to race against other horses that have been resting, for the most part resting. Now, what I was shocked to find out today was training is still open at Mohawk. What? There's more people in the paddock when they're training. Anyway, never mind. Anyway, I feel terrible for Woodbine Entertainment Group. I feel terrible for Jessica and Jim. The job that the AGCO and Ontario Racing has to do is I don't want to say unrealistic, but very difficult for them to move such large organizations and pivot in a now type of way. I feel very bad for them. Us, we're the biggest ship in Canada as far as stables are concerned. We can pivot, we can move. We do have people on the ground in Ohio, in Pennsylvania, even in Indiana if we want. Circling back to what I'd said about Travis, I said, hey man, you're not going to be racing. If you want to take, that's my girl Fox Valley Britska, Italian Grit, and 3 overnight horses and go to Indiana for a few weeks, got some work for you. He's got a family too. Bit of a dick move, but if he really wants the work and wants the job, then it's his. So we'll see what that path leads. You may say to yourself, well, why don't you just send the horses to Irv? I don't know if an Italian Grit and Fox Valley Britska are good enough to go to Irv right now. And that's my girl's a little tricky. Not that Irv can't get her to trot, but they're not yes, right? They're not Cavill Hanover, right? And this is the feasibility of what we're trying to do here. I don't know how tough this series is in April 28th in Indiana. I have no idea how tough it is. Are they good enough to be in it? I have no idea. So a lot of questions in that regard. We're being forced into a corner with those particular horses. I was happy to race Italian Grit right here. The numbers of 1 or 2. He looked great the other night in that class. Travis said, Travis Henry loves Italian Grit, which is great because he doesn't have a huge fan base. But he said, I love this horse. He said, I pull him first or second over. He said, who knows? I'm 1-2. He said, he finished up great. He looked great. I love this horse. Flamborough, London, Grand River. Great Georgian. Great places to race this horse. Now we're forced into Indiana? Really? Anyway, I'm going to continue to do the best I can. I can only step so much forward, and it takes information to do so. So I gave Jim Lawson at least, we can't pull full-blown health papers until next Thursday or Friday. So I expect to hear from Mr. Lawson. If he says, Anthony, I'm confident we can have things back in 15 days, fine. Temporary papers. We're still going to race Oso Pine in the Open at Northfield Park. Doesn't mean they all have to leave, but some can, to prop up the stable. And it changes my mind when it comes to a lot of the babies. And if we're going to be back racing in 15 days, there's no reason to think that the health department and the education minister are going to shut down schools thereafter. So let's see. Let's see what happens. So a lot of this is wait and see, and I apologize, but please understand the immense pressure I'm under. I do not have any more information for you. Short of putting a listing device in the Premier's office, I don't think anybody does. So 3 clear paths for the stable.ca. One that I'm looking into is moving some horses to race them. Our contingencies are, if Woodbine is not going to be up for 4 weeks, other horses will leave. That would move our needle, so to speak, from maybe 8 horses to almost 18 horses. And then if the education minister comes back and says school's over for then a foreseeable future, then anything and everything is on the table. So that's where we're at with that. Don't be too depressed about it. We are going to continue. We're not going to be flat-footed. We're going to continue to move the best, the quickest, and the best way we can moving forward. So let's get back to what I wanted to talk about, which was the babies today on Saturday. I told you guys for the last 2 weeks how well they trained, and I know there's a lot of people that sit home and go, yeah, they trained good. I'm sure they did. Because there's no drone. You didn't know, right? All the Matt's MVP people were sitting home braiding rope, wondering if he was going to look bad again today. Told you. Garden State Dio people that watched her run for 2 months at Christmas time. Is she going to be okay? She was flying on the end of it and passed a horse that I have told you I think is one of her best horses. Fair and square. Beat me fair and square. Couldn't have looked any better. We got a barn full of good-looking horses, and I hope you guys got to see that today. The 2 breaks that I can think of right now, 1, 2, skip a few, can tell you exactly what it is. It's her feet. Right? She just didn't warm out of it the best she could. If I'd have been left alone on the front end, I'm fine. But she's so competitive. When Mario went by me, she tried to catch up. She wanted to get at him. Put herself on the run. Tough filly. I love that filly. Not too many mistakes made overall today. Renegade Gypsy, Mario still got flip-flops on him. Don't blame him. We still have them on a lot of horses. I just don't think as this guy gathers speed, if he's staying sound, maybe trying to get those flip-flops off him might be the best idea. And he said it right after. He goes, maybe Monday we'll try and get some full swedges or, 9/16 or something on him. Mario's in love with full swedges up front with trotters. I'm not, but I'm certainly going to give him the leeway. He's training the horse. We'll give him all the leeway he wants. You want to put the full swedges on him? Fill your boots. Put them on. We'll see how Renegade Gypsy trains next week, but I'm certainly not concerned about Renegade Gypsy. I'm just looking down the list quickly. Sweet on Pete, just a growing filly. James said, man, her brain moves faster than her body's able right yet. She'll catch up. And I agree, 100%. Not worried about Sweet on Pete in the least. At all. Stonebridge Dolce kind of looked crappy today. This is the wrong list. This is last week's list. Oh well. Stonebridge Dolce, she was a little flat today, but at the same time, going to make a few little shoeing changes on her. You're going to see incrementer. You're going to see 1 step forward, 2 steps back sometimes with this filly. And horses like her, she'll come around. She'll get there. who else? Just looking for mistakes at this point. Want to skip a few. Arches Rainbow. Again, this is a filly that last Saturday and this Wednesday was absolutely incredible and a little bit flat. Made a break today. I'm really not that worried about it. If you are, that's fine. I'm not. What else do we got? See, not a lot of mistakes made today. I don't see anybody left here. These horses were all great. What about Spent today? I know you guys didn't see Spent make the mistakes he's made, but he did make some. You guys didn't get to see that. What you got to see was Spent make a break maybe last drone set and then was okay, but the last 4 or 5 times we went, it almost seemed like he was looking for a way out. So he had a little visit from the principal on Wednesday, and we changed his gear, changed his shoeing, changed his bridle. When's the last time you saw one of our babies train in an open bridle with no head check? That's what Spent did today. I wanted him comfortable today. I wanted no excuses for him not to do his work. I gave him none, and he did very well today. So Spent was very good. Just looking again, Blue Bayou Dio finished upper mile with broken trotting hobbles and still was right there with Will to win Hanover. She looked incredible. Not many horses look better than the Big Colt World for 2. Man, he looked good. And that's about it. Man, there's a lot of good horses here today. Anyway, a great day in training. I'm going to go through them set by set by set and give you guys a real-time look at what I saw. Now, it's fresh in my mind. I'm very, very happy with what I've seen from the babies. Who impressed me the most today? I'm going to give you a quick little rundown. Horses I thought were good. Bomb Hugger. Jimmy said to me, this is the first time Jimmy Gillespie has ever gone with Bomb Hugger, I believe. He pulled up and he goes, oh my God, this thing can fly. And I said, I tell James tries to downplay her. I think James downplays her because she wasn't all that great for James Moore. She made a couple of breaks on him and maybe left a bad taste in his mouth. And he's always trying to downplay, yeah, she's a nice filly, but she's not big. I said, James, 80% of her stake races are on half-mile tracks. I don't know what you could possibly say wrong or bad about this filly, but you're wrong. She's our fastest 2-year-old right now. I guarantee you, if I sat behind this filly or cut her loose in any way, but we don't want that. I want her left right in neutral where she is. I already know what she's capable of, and I don't want to see it again until June. So Bomb Hugger, Jimmy was head over heels happy with her. Taiwan On was good. Of Tom won that set. And Of Tom, I thought she was beat coming out of the last turn. Stuck her big giraffe neck out, trotted down the lane the best she can. James said, yeah, she doesn't sprint, though, in the end of it. I said, how can she? She's a giraffe. Leave her alone. She knows how to win. She knows the difference between winning and losing, or she wouldn't have stuck her neck out and come back on and won the training set. She knows what she's there to do, and that's what I love about this filly. She is almost, I don't think I can remember any square-gated, more gifted, beautiful trotters than Of Tom that we've had. I'm not saying she's our fastest horse ever. I'm not saying she's our best horse. I don't even know how good she is. But I can tell you one thing. She's handy. Very, very handy. Never makes a break. Always in go mode. Knows what she has to do. And then when I saw her today, understanding the difference between winning and getting beat, that's a big, big thing. Of Tom, very good today. Purple Aura was great. Everybody in the first set was great. Eyes at 10. Amy said she touched her knee down the lane. I thought she was going to run. She was trotting so fast. I said, good. I want to see that. I don't care if she touched her knee. I forgot to get the checks. I just came to get them. Yeah, that's me. Oh, there's Jason Ryan. Hello, Richard. I forgot to get the checks. I got to get them. What's up today, buddy? Your horse won his set today. The one the Sugarmans were asking about. They're never going to sell that horse.
No.
I was telling...
They never even said a word to me.
Oh. So this is Jason Ryan. I turned the video, but he's so unshaven and dirty right now. It's upsetting. Doing a little video talking about the baby. So we were talking about World for Two. There's been people that, his owners now, used to be our owners, were asking about buying him, but they're not going to sell him. He was really, really good again today. Where does that leave us? All right, buddy. You take care. Where does that leave us right now? I guess I was at set 2. I know why this list looks different, because the last time this phone doesn't have internet on it, it needs Wi-Fi, and the last time I did my list, this did not reconnect. So I'm left with an unedited list. We'll keep going. What did I say? Everybody from the first set was good. Isa 10 was very good, finished up good. Man, she looked good closing on the outside. And Of Tom, as I said, stuck her big giraffe neck out and hung on to win. Sweet on Pete made a break on James, which is all right. LSL was good. Kathy with an eye. Grace. Who did I drop in there? I think Matt's MVP. Man, oh man. Yeah, because I won the double. I won the early double. Matt's MVP was good. I told you guys, right? I have no problem telling you, hey, your horse looks like shit, right? We just don't have a lot of that right now. It is what it is. You can only put the work in. You guys know that. I don't have to sugarcoat it. You see it. And I also told you that Matt's MVP surprised the hell out of me last week and trained really good. I wanted to see him look good today, and he just looks so effort. He just makes it look so easy, right? He looked very, very good today. Third set, Hill of Magic might not have won, but what about no hobbles, equipment changes on her today? For those of you horsemen out there, she wears aluminums and flip-flops up front. No hobbles, no nothing. James says, Jesus, a nice filly. Really, really nice filly. He was very happy with her. Slim Jimmy looked very good. Very good. And I believe Miss Mildred was in that set and looked great again today. I still think Massive Profit's one of our best horses now. He's not built for a half-mile track, but he's getting more confident as he goes. Got an ear hood on him today. I don't think it would have mattered. I think that filly was going to trot by me regardless. And she's a big girl, too. James said, man, oh man. He said, I felt him flip to the inside. I said, there's no way he's going to trot by. He blew by me. Garden State Dio inhaled a horse that I still think is one of our best horses. Surprised me a lot. Garden State Dio looked absolutely fantastic. Little side note, her sister, Spirit of Dio, is qualifying next Saturday at the Meadowlands. So I'd send a note out if you happen to be one of our partners and co-owners on Spirit of Dio, get your licensing done because she is qualifying next Saturday at the Meadowlands. If you need any help with your licensing, reach out. We'll do what we can to help out. Ultimately, they're your fingerprints. It's your money, but we can help you in any way to get licensed. So we moved on to set 3. As I said, Slim Jimmy looked great. Mario said, who's he by again? What's Long Tom? I said, there's a Muscle Hill. We got 3 of them here, and I bred my mare Muscle Chrome to Long Tom. All 3 of the Long Toms we have here look very, very good. Set 4, as I said, Massive Profit looked great, but not as good as Garden State Dio. She looked incredible. Everybody in that set was very good. Amy was on the outside coming hard with Mischievous Rose. Amor Diener, Tioga Sunshine. Jimmy said, Tioga Sunshine was good. He said, I just couldn't make up any ground. I said, she's a nice filly. She's a meat and potatoes horse, right? We have lots of them. I love those horses. You know, I say it all the time. But we were flying on the end of it. There's just no room to be made up. He said she did everything great. I was very happy with her. Set number 5, Resolute Bay, was good again. What about Harlan L? Oh, Harlan's coming. I was on the front end with Spent. I'm very happy with what I saw from Spent today. Harlan L, we finished heads apart right together. He was very good also in that set. Granite Hill, I told everybody, and you should know by now, I'm not joking. You've seen the fruits of our labor with Garden State Duo, with Massive Profit, with a number of these horses that Matt's MVP that were making breaks. Don't be too concerned about Granite Hill, right? Granite Hill is a big, lanky, kind of weak over the stifles horse that we spent a lot of time baycoxing, blistering, working on. I think you're going to see Granite Hill's best work happen at qualifying time. I don't think you're going to see a fantastic Granite Hill where you're like, oh my God, look, did you see Granite Hill today? I don't think there's going to be much talk like that. But that doesn't mean he's not a good horse. I just don't think you're going to see his best hoof forward until June. That's just my feeling on it, but I'm not concerned with Granite Hill in any way, shape, or form. You got to believe put in a good mile again today. So did Resolute Bay. So again, another good set in set 5. We went out in the 6th. And who did we have in it? Oh, Blue Bayou Dio. She's getting cocky too. I know when she broke her hobbles halfway down the lane, I could feel her jump forward when James came to her. She got a good look at James. She got a closed bridle on. She got a good look at Will to Win Hanover, and she was trying to come back on and beat her. Snapped the hobbles right off the jog cart. It's not an easy thing to do. She looked very, very good. Will to win Hanover looked great again. Almost there, boss. Everybody in that set finished up together. Confederate Cruiser was climbing over my back, and he was 5th. So everybody right across the track in that set. Just a great set again. Then we come out in the 7th, and I did think Voyage would beat them again. Voyage, Ice and Fire. World for Two is no joke. I told you guys that. I'm going to keep telling you that. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. This video, at its latest, will be viewed Sunday, if not Monday. On Tuesday morning, I am putting the price of World for Two up, just so you know. Letting you know, giving you all fair warning. The horse looks like a monster. He looks great. He is grossly underpriced on our site. And as of Tuesday morning, I will be putting the price up on World for Two. Not sure what I'm going to make it yet. And it is not going to be anywhere near $375 or $400 a share. I can guarantee you that. So World for Two looked incredible. Voyage of Ice and Fire. These are pacers he's going against. Come a half in like 5, and he was good. I looked over my shoulder. I said to Mario, easy. I said, it's a country mile back to the other 3. They just went their own mile in behind us. Pretty decent last half. Peanut Butter and Jelly, Luck of the Dragon, and Twinkle in Her Eye. James said Twinkle was very good. He said, I told you the other day when I went with her, she was awesome. He said, you know, I went with her once for Mario, and I've seen you go with her. She didn't really wow me. He said she was good today, really good. So very happy with that set again. Another good set, and then we come out in the 8th. Really, the only letdown in the entire 8th set was Stonebridge Dolce, and it's not her fault. She gets tired out in those hobbles being tight, but she needed them a little tight today. I'm going to change her shoes on Monday. I think you're going to see a little bit different Stonebridge Dolce come the next time we train at the training center. So for the 8 sets, the horse that impressed me, obviously, Procrastinator broke his maiden, right? That's impressive all in its own. I'm flabbergasted by how much this horse has come forward. He's, you know, I'm not going to tell you, geez, he's the best horse we have. No, he's not. But I really had concerns with Procrastinator, and they are being alleviated quite quickly right now. He looked very good today. Century Invictus was climbing over him at the wire. A great mile for him. He looked fantastic also. Rose Above It looked very, very good. Stonebridge Dolce looks so-so. I forget the last horse in it, but all those horses I was very, very happy with. Just to reiterate, we had some scratches. Nothing to be concerned about. I did a video about this before. Twin Bee Habanero is swimming. Duke Dio is on his way to be swimming. And then we had minor veterinary work done on 3 Point Blue Chip. Had some splints cryoed. Had his knees injected just to make sure everything was good. Unbeatable Kemp had some curbs cryoed on him. And Rosie's Masterpiece, very similar to 3 Point Blue Chip. Just injected those knees and give them a week of easy jogging. You're not going to see them train. 3 Point will train on Wednesday. Rosie's Masterpiece won't train until next Saturday. But all in all, as I said, just a great day of training that really helped lift me up for sure, because I had such a terrible week overall. This has been an incredibly difficult and trying and stressful week for myself and for you and for everybody else in Ontario. As I said, rest assured, we are on top of it. We are keeping a very close eye on it. We are going to be making some moves. I myself am going to Pennsylvania, I believe, Wednesday afternoon. I will be at the Meadows to drive a Glare AM in a second. Quite frankly, I don't know if I want to drive One My Heart Hanover. I thought Mike Wilder did a great job with her. I'll leave it up to Tim, but I will be there to drive a Glare AM for sure. So starting Thursday, I will be in the United States of America. My plan is to Thursday also get my first shot, and I may be in the United States until I get my second shot for COVID. That means nothing to the border, but I'll be shipping horses home also, which means I should be exempt when I get home. So I found a way into the States. I found a way back. I'm doing my best to maneuver our stable, which is quite a large stable, and maneuver our interest in the best way we can. Rest assured, the summer is coming, and there is nothing that Doug Ford here in Ontario or anybody else can do to stop that from happening. So, hope for the best in Ontario. I'm very optimistic about Ohio. As I said in last week's video, the fairs will be at 100% capacity, I believe, by August 1st in Ohio. Pennsylvania is starting to open up. Everything's starting to look good south of the border. And that's not to say things are bad north of the border. It's a struggle. It's a struggle for all of us. Everybody's trying to get vaccinated, trying to catch up to where the U.S. is, but we'll all get there. So, a little bittersweet information today. As I said, we're going to have to make some serious changes over the next 30 days. The extent of those changes will be known by next Friday, so I can give you a pretty firm idea of what will take place by next Friday. But for sure, right now, the horses we had racing that have classes in the United States will be heading to the United States, whether that be for a short time or a long time. That will be up to the Premier of Ontario. So now you're up to date. Now you know what is going on, what has gone on. Still tons to talk about today with all of our videos. I obviously want to focus on the 2-year-olds. I was so impressed with them. 3-year-olds are coming along nicely. We had a number of qualifiers. Some of those horses I had slated to have 2 qualifiers. Can't even do that now. So anyway, I'll get you guys updated on everything that is related to the stable.ca, coming to you very, very soon.